Good day, good day, good day, good day, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Listen, as I was telling you before, retire before you expire. I spoke about that subject on last Friday. Shateka Husser joined me, and very powerful sister. Here it is. She's here to coach, counsel, and train, and get us ready for the future. Get us ready for making smart decisions with our dollars and our cents, and helping us to build generation wealth. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring Shateka on. Here's Shateka.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm not sure if you have your comments on, but I'm going to try to look. Oh, okay, we do have some people on. So welcome to the broadcast, and thanks for bringing me back, Brian. So basically, just to tell you a little bit about who I am. I am Shateka Husser. I'm actually a financial planner as well as a retirement consultant. My goal is to literally help people retire before they expire. So if that's you, then of course, you may want to consider hiring me. But you don't have to. The whole purpose of this is to educate you, to empower you, and to enlighten you, because there's so much that I wish I would have known, coming out of high school, even coming out of college, even as an adult, and just working with my finances. And so the goal is just to really, educate people on what it is that we're talking about today. Today's topic is going to primarily be about how you can become your own bank. I know we probably have heard those different terminologies around that, but I want to really speak to the insurance side of it, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about trading, and then talk about a business owner. So basically, three aspects of it. So Brian, thank you again. So first, let's just talk about insurance. A lot of people think that insurance is only a death benefit. That's all they can receive from it is a death benefit. But the wealthy 1%, Brian, they are actually using this as a vehicle to be able to put away money that's not going to be taxed, right? So instead of them, receiving some type of loan or some type of credit card that's going to have these high interests, they put away the money in their insurance policy that's going to be tax free, so that they can have access to that whenever there is an emergency. Okay. So the, flat tire, medical bill, whatever, they're going to use their insurance policy to be able to fund those unforeseen challenges, right? Unlike a lot of people, they may use their credit card, which has high interest, or interest at, in and of itself, or they may use, some type of loan, and they're going to like payday loan, which is like crazy. I spoke with a client yesterday. He's paying 133%. So the first thing I will tell you, anybody, before they come to me in a consultation, 99% of people that come to me do not know what their interest rate is on anything that they're paying. Not their student loan, not their credit card, none of that. And it's so super important that people understand that that's the first place to start. And I often hear people talk about, this snowball debt relief like plan. I'm so against that, because snowball gives you a false sense of security in that you feel like you accomplished something because you're paying off the smaller debts versus the higher debts. Okay. But what if I could tell you that you would pay off your debt a whole lot sooner if you know what the interest is, and then start with the highest interest and then work your way down? This is known as the avalanche method, not the snowball method. Thank you. Good morning, Lamar. I hear you. I see you. Lamar and God Science and Buzzo. All right. So I want to say that people need to be more inclined to paying off the high interest debt versus that. So I kind of went off to becoming a bank, to then talking about the snowball versus the avalanche method, because the average individual don't even know and understand that that is how you get out of debt the fastest way. Here's the deal: 133% for a car repair loan. Okay. Now, if you had that money inside of an insurance policy, you would be paying 133% and almost never paying it off. So that is what we're talking about. I just wanted to use that for an example, because when we know better, we do better. And people, never get out of debt because of lack of knowledge and financial literacy. And so that's one of the things that I really wanted to drive home. And so, again, insurance. You can use this as your emergency fund. A lot of people have small children, all types of different things happen, from one school year to the next school year. Maybe it's just a one-time withdrawal per year for school, to be able to do it as you need to do for your children. But you also have some type of policy and death benefit for their legacy building at the same time. Because if you put your money in the savings account, you don't have a death benefit attached to that. You understand? If you put your money in a savings account, you don't have the compounding that you're going to have with, some type of whole life or insurance, index universal life policy. That's not going to happen with any type of bank account. You might get 0.01%, if that, and you got all these fees that happen because you're paying the banks, a monthly maintenance fee. Sometimes if you have to write different types of checks or whatever, you're going to have these different little hidden fees that's in there, but you don't have that with some type of policy. But you also have with a policy, what else? You have control of your money, but you also have access to being able to access your cash when you need it. But you have a death benefit, but you also have a medical benefit. So if you have chronic, critical, terminal illness or chronic injury, you are going to be able to have access to cash. People have heart attacks, cancer. A lady came in my office a couple of days ago in the office here, and she said that she has breast cancer. She just found out. If she doesn't have the right policy, her medical bills may supersede, what it is that she could afford. With the right type of policy, she can advance, her death benefit and be able to use that while she's living. It wouldn't go to her beneficiary. It would go to her to be able to access now to be able to pay off medical bills. So she's not tapping into her retirement account. So I just want to kind of talk about that insurance piece for just a second. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is, again, trading, right? So most people may have heard of trading. They don't really understand it. They don't know where it came from. It really happened back in 4 AD. A very, very long time ago. Ever since banks have been around, Forex has been around. Okay, so that's a foreign exchange currency. So whenever I lived in Germany for 5.5 years with the military, I traveled to a lot of different European countries, probably about 15. Anytime I would take my money and exchange it for that country's currency, I would either lose or gain. You can do the exact same thing from your phone or from your laptop. The banks have been doing this, like I said, since forever. And before you wake up between midnight and 5 a.m. in the morning, they're taking your money, your hard-earned money, and they are 1,000xing it, 10,000xing it. They can take a penny and make it hundreds of dollars because they understand how to trade foreign exchange currency, trading one country's currency for the other to make a profit. That's basically what it is. There's classes and courses out there. I'm actually a part of an affiliation, but there's training out there to help people learn. There's so many of them out there right now. So if you're not trading, there's another whole stream of income. A lot of people, they don't know how to trade. They may not do well with it. It's not for everybody. 90-something% of people fail at it. So let me be real clear. So I would tell everybody, get into your demo account, use your demo account, not your real money, to begin learning that skill. But if we can go to school for 4 years and learn a skill, why not be like the rich and wealthy who is requiring their children to become a millionaire by the time they graduate high school by learning this skill? I've seen teenagers in the summertime make thousands of dollars, $10,000, $13,000 in the summertime because they learn the skill of trading. Actually, the Generation Z generation and behind is called Generation A. I believe it is now. This is the newer one. There's so many generations out here, but they are learning this at an accelerated pace because they understand that it's a technology era that we're in, and they're generating cash. So that's what the rich and the wealthy are requiring their children to learn, so that when they graduate high school, they are already a millionaire. I know this might seem foreign to some people because they're just not familiar with it. I didn't even learn about Forex until 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. But it's definitely another way that you can generate cash, just like the banks. I always say, do what the banks are doing. The banks trade, and they trade on a 4-hour time frame. Okay, anything that's happening in the 4-hour time frame or higher, that's how they're trading their money. We have to learn to do the same thing. So I just told you about how you can protect your money by making sure that you're not accessing high interest loans, credit cards, payday loans, and these types of things, by having an emergency fund. That's one of the ways that you can become financially free. All right. Preparing for emergencies. Number 2, I just told you how you can generate cash, generate money on your own. If for some reason you can't work. Now, I would never tell anybody to take their hard-earned money to do this Never trade with anything that you can't afford to lose, of course. And that's in any investment. Never invest what you can't afford to lose. And it should not become your retirement plan. It should certainly be another stream of income that's more like your play money, to hopefully be able to stretch after you've been on a demo account, I would say, and have done 100 profitable trades in your demo account. Then go to your live account and use your money to be able to do just that. The other thing I want to talk about, the number 3 and the final topic I really want to talk about, is becoming a business owner. See, the taxes are set up for the business owner. They're not set up for the W-2 employee. That's why everybody's screaming, get a job. I mean, get a business, get your own, and become an entrepreneur. And that's a big buzz thing right now. And the reason being is because they're finding out that they're paying so much in taxes as a W-2 employee when they work so hard. It's kind of like modern day sort of speak slavery, if you will, because you have a lot of jobs out here that's requiring so much of you, but you're paying a lot of that in taxes as well. But if you were an owner of the job versus an entrepreneur or business owner, you wouldn't have to pay as much taxes. That's all I'm saying. And so there's 475 tax deductions that can be taken when you're a business owner. The tax code is set up for the business owner. It's not set up for the employee. And that is the only reason. There's nothing wrong with having a job or nothing wrong with a career, because I had it for many, many years. But if all you have is a career and all you have is a job and you don't have another stream of income, or at least some type of way to write off some of those taxes to be able to keep more money, the goal is to keep more money, generate more money. Okay, that's what I'm talking about today. And that's what we're talking about with finances. So I did see some more comments just saying good morning here. I just want to make sure if there's any questions that I answer any questions that may happen right now. So definitely, we didn't want to be long. We just wanted to be strong. The goal really is to get in here and talk about that. Business 101 is, I would never tell anyone to just leave a W-2 and just jump into, being able to have your own business, but having that income already there. I would always tell somebody, like, make sure that you replace the income that's on your job before you just jump out and become a business owner or an entrepreneur, because it's not the best thing to do. All right. You want to have some type of emergency fund in terms of maybe 9 months to a year, as much as possible, already saved up before you take that leap. But you really want that to replace your income before you take that leap as well. All right. Yeah, they do. They do sometimes. So I see your point, Bonga. Says that sometimes the jobs suck the life out of you. I get it. And it's really about, everything's about our attitude. We got to just look at it, go in there and just do the best we can with what we have. So I understand the challenges, trust and believe. I've been there. But I just wanted to really get on here and inspire and encourage you all that, if you are thinking about doing a business and you don't have a business plan or anything of that nature, definitely want you to, there's so much free information out here. I know there's a lot of courses out here, but there's a lot of good free information as well. And that you can actually access that information all over the internet. I mean, Google has everything. I think people underutilize Google, and it has everything you need to learn, to know, I should say, in terms of research. So just do your research and, really get out there and take charge. Like becoming a CEO really is about understanding the mechanics of a business. And having been someone that worked in a big box retailer for, over 7 years with 400 employees, I understand that the number one thing is to understand if you can, how to solve people's problems and have a solution, and how you can show up different in the world and make an impact. Most business owners are doing something that's going to be able to show up in the world to make an impact, to be able to bring a solution to a problem. The solution Husser Financials primarily brings is really about how to structure an account to give you lifetime tax-free income. That's basically our unique selling proposition. We're going to help you have a lifetime tax-free income. And so whatever business you have, you want to make sure that business is going to solve a problem. And it's something that people absolutely need. And then just figure out how you're going to do your operation. I'm definitely an operation person all day. That's my whole background, from from an Army officer in logistics to corporate to now what I do. So operations is huge, and understanding how to operate in a business is very, very important. So any questions out there? Any questions, comments? How we doing, Brian? Because I was hoping that you were going to ask me some questions.
Yeah,
But
you know what? Yeah, I was waiting, and to me, I'm not gonna never interrupt a woman. Listen, Queen, I was looking at and what it's listen to some of your words was very powerful. Thank you for being on the platform, and like some of the things as far as like how when you need something right then and there, like I heard you say about having anywhere from 9 to 12 months of saving for emergency, but the difference was that word life happened when I'm talking about you lose your job or basically right now is you homeless or you got so many different things that going on at the same time, but you got a job and you need money, so you go into the bank or you go to the payday loans or you go to different corporation to get money, and chances are they'll give you the money, but all money is not good money. Because once again, only thing you thinking about that short term, you thinking about, oh, I need this. And if they can give you that lump sum, you're not looking at that compound interest rate, like the return that they gonna get back. So here it is, I'll give you this, but then again, within a short period of time, you have to give me woof back that. And that's where I think, you get addicted to that and you keep doing it and you losing. You will never be able to get off that rat hole.
so good. That's exactly right. That's exactly what I was talking about. They have these high interest loans because it's your emergency, is their way of building a fortune for their business, like giving you this money. And instead of the $1,000 that borrow, you're going to pay them back $2,300. That's how much percent? That's a huge amount that they're going to be making off of you because of your misfortune and your inability to plan or properly plan. And that's what we're talking about today. Even if you didn't do a policy, if you just have some type of saving, we know the policy is going to give you 3 times the benefit than any savings account. Again, because it's going to compound your money, it's going to grow your money. You often hear people say, "Well, I want to do term; it's cheaper. I can invest the rest." The average person do not know how to invest the rest. Who knows how to invest money better than anybody? The insurance companies. That's why big banks go to them. That's why companies go to them. Corporations go to them. That's why they don't pay taxes. You say, well, how did they get out of not paying taxes? Because they use insurance policies, because there's no taxes. So all these benefits that you don't get with a savings account, or a checking account, and then when you have those types of things, it's easier to access your money than it is for use in an insurance policy, because you got to go through the paperwork to get the loan out, but it is your money, but you're less susceptible to dipping your hand inside the cookie jar and getting that money out, if you will. So the goal is to put it in something that's going to be a little further away from you, less access, so that you can be able to have it when you really need it for any type of emergency. Even if you just did as little as $25. I showed a young man, he was, what is he, 26, 27 years old. And I was just telling him, Chuck, if you did $50 a year, excuse me, a month for, until you actually retire, you would have all of this money available to you. Oh my goodness, like you could have yourself $192,000.
Wow.
Literally, if you did 20, not this is, I'm talking apples and oranges, two different things. One thing is if he just did $20,000 for 5 years to let his money sit there, right? He could have $192,000 every year until he dies. 6 figures. So it's a matter of how well do we save our money in the right type of asset class in order to allow us to be able to give us the retirement income that we're looking for in the future. That's the question. So
You know
people
what?
don't know where to put their money.
You know what? Even right now, like let's sit back and think about it. And I thank you for what you're doing, because once again, like I said, I learned a lot from you. It's like you saying, like people do not know what to do with their money, and I find that to be so simple but so true. We all want money. We all need money, but what do we do with the money? How do we learn how to budget ourselves? I know you hear that word a lot, budget, which I feel and think is very important, because once again, you got to have a lot of times, like to me, I'm like spontaneous. I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, but I try to watch because I never want to hit that red. But the objective is how to get out of that mindset, having a game plan that you got money to take care of your bills and you got money to invest. As you know, as we spoke, I got term. Right now, I'm in the process of the whole, because we know right now is with that term life. Only thing I'm doing putting money in there, And right now, that company is gambling against me. They know right now is most likely I'm going to outlive that term life insurance policy. So all that money that I've been putting into it is nothing. They not even worrying about that. So the
Yeah.
difference, how do we understand how to budget and where to put our money at and how we can make our money or what little money that we have work for us? How can we hustle with money we making now legally, girlfriend?
Absolutely, and you just said it, and you you something else because basically the money that you're putting in to term, I always say is like you're donating that money. That money is a donation. But how do we do it? We have to have discipline. The number one thing here is discipline. The average individual does not have that. I can't instill that in anybody. They have to have it on their own. It's called your own willpower. It's called discipline. Having a plan, having a goal. What is my goal for the year? So if I want to save $10,000 a year, then that means I got to save how much dollars per month? Okay, and what are my activities within the week that I'm going to take? What different activities could I do or impact that's going to be able to allow me to have more money? Am I going to stop, eating out all the time, for lunch? Am I going to make my lunches now because I'm saving $100 a week to be able to get to my goal? It's disciplines. It's about what specific actions can you take every single week or every single day or every single hour for some people, right? If they're smokers, whatever the case may be, what can I do differently to be able to save my money so that I can have that extra money to be able to put into something that's going to literally grow for me and compound for me? All right. Do I have to wear all my money on the outside? The richest people don't look like they're rich, but the
Right.
poorest people look like they're rich
Why?
because they use credit cards to put on a facade. A lot of them highly in debt because they want to look the part, but they're really not the part, faking it to make it. That's not what life is supposed to be meant about, right? Going on these trips, don't have the money. Okay. At the end of the day, what could we do differently? What decisions can we make that will be able to align with our financial goals? It really is about the discipline. All right. And what can you put your money into? I just gave you the number one asset that the wealthy use. And the reason why they use it, because there is no loss. You cannot put money inside of a policy and lose your money. The money is not going to be lost. What it's going to do is compound for you. What it's going to do is give you generational wealth and give your children's children or whomever you decide to leave money to, the cause that you want to leave money to, some more money whenever you leave. So it's really about generational wealth that's being built. I was born into poverty. Okay. I was born in a single parent home. All right. My father was not there. At the end of the day, I had to make a living for myself. At the age of 17, I went and signed myself up for college, jumped in a car with my high school buddy and his mom, okay, and signed myself up for South Carolina State University and been on my own ever since. You have to have something on the inside of you called ambition, grit, that's going to cause you to get up and do what it is that you need to do every day, day after day after day after day, until your goals are met, until your mission is achieved. When I went and worked in the military, I had a mission and I could not leave until my mission was done. And they said, yes, ma'am. And they did it. Here's the deal. We have to figure out what it is. We have to have a vision. Without a vision, people perish. So if you don't have a vision, you'll never get the money because first of all, you can't even see. It's a mindset. Let's just park right there. It's a mindset. If I can never see myself out of debt, I'm never going to leave debt. I'm always going to be in debt because I'm just going to be on this hamster wheel, as you mentioned, over and over, going to the payday loan, getting this money that I know that is way too high for me to be paying back and never get out of debt. No, it's not the way to go. It's stop, drop, and roll. Roll into the right opportunities, the right activities, the right decisions, the right, action plan that you're going to take to be able to get yourself out of money. These are the things that you got to roll into and stop doing what it is that you do. Because unless you have a mind shift, unless you can see yourself in the future, and you're not going to be a visionary. You have to become a visionary and take the discipline and have yourself disciplined. Discipline is hard. It is not the most attractive and appealing thing. It is not sexy, as they say. Okay. But discipline is what's necessary. It's like eating that spinach that's necessary to get the iron that you need. It's like eating those greens, something that's going to nourish your financial state. Okay. And that is what we're talking about today. But I'm blue in the face. But unless you can see yourself in the future, unless you can have a vision, unless your mindset is shifted in terms of finances, unless you have a better relationship with money and stop emotionally spending, what emotional therapy, what they call it, retail therapy, spending money because you're depressed, trying to make yourself look good because you're depressed, is emotional financial drama and trauma. Okay, we have trauma. We've always been traumatized in some area of our life, in our space, but it shouldn't come out in your bank account. And that's what happens. It comes out in our bank account because we go and we take money out that we know we don't have to use to make ourselves feel good. And why? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get on here and get
No,
passionate because I can do that. But at the end of the day, it's a discipline problem
Mhm.
and it's an emotional stability problem. And when we can get our emotions in alignment, with our vision and our goal, we can make some things happen. Okay. Let's just talk about the black race. We're trillionaires. You know why? Because the banks have made trillions of dollars off of us, right? They take our money and they multiply it in a foreign exchange currency market. And we're just sitting here just putting it in. They require us to put so much money in the bank. They require us to keep a certain balance. They say we can't take but so much money out per day because they got to take our money and go trade it and make multi millions of dollars off of us. And we don't even know how to trade. But the rich and wealthy do. And they know how to put it inside of an insurance policy to make that thing grow. And they know how to keep more taxes because they understand it. It's understanding. It's financial literacy. Number one, mindset. What's going on in the mind? How do we shift our mind? How do we have a paradigm that says this is not how I'm supposed to look at money? And then number two, how are we going to educate ourselves about finances? Is a lot more than what we can talk about in these, mini little series that we're doing in terms of finances. But you have to go out and educate yourself. I didn't know anything about money. And I don't even want to talk about the amount of money that I've made. But knowing what I know now, I would have made some different decisions. Although I did good, I could have done great had I been brought up, in a home that taught financial literacy. Teach your children financial literacy so that the generational blessings begin with them. It begins with you because you're understanding it and you're learning it, but then your children can carry the torch with generational blessings. And so that's what we want to talk when we're talking about. How do we educate ourselves after we've gotten that mindset shift? And then take action and be consistent with it. And then you will see that it's going to benefit you in the end. It really will. It really will.
You know what? See, I'm inspired because even right now, as I'm listening to the words that coming out your mouth, girl, like I say, that woman's on fire. Because once again, you talk about ambition. And as of lately, I've been listening to the song with Jay-Z and Pharrell. I'm so ambitious, because it's like the naysayer, what they say you can and cannot do. And that's where it come down to New York or growing up. We want to look good. You want to look like $1 million, but you broke it in a skunk. We got to stop fronting and stop realizing what we spending is not going to help us in the future. I used to watch, I used to tell people, I watched these young ladies when I was coming up as kids. They used to get their little welfare check or whatever. And opposed to them taking care of their kids, what they used to do is go buy a leather outfit and everything. And they out there in the front of the projects, what I'm saying, with the strollers and the kid, looking good. But everybody looks so good. And it's scorching hot outside. So when that good humor ice cream man come by, nobody got money to buy ice cream. Why? Because they spent it on, because they out there trying to look good for other people. Once again, what you say, discipline. Separate your wants from your need. That's the difference. But you have to be able to discipline yourself. Yeah, I want that, but do I need that? And that's the same thing when we making this little money. What do we need to do? And that's why I love it and listen to you and going back and forth with it. Because to me, you are true inspiration. And to me, I'll watch the struggle. I'll watch like how you went from one state to another state and you went in there and you kicked those doors open and you still doing it. So that's why automatically when me, my cousin Dexter, we just was talking a few weeks ago and he was telling me some of the things that he wanted to do in a direction. I said, hold up, man. I got this queen. I got this sister. She's doing that. And just so happened as I'm trying to find your number, and that's the day I called you when I was down there, and he say, hold up, her name is Shateka. Wow, small world, but he was in a class with you at one time. And that's the difference. Because everybody, what you're doing, that's what we need. We need to get people educated. We need to get people to understand, even right now, like what we need to do with our money. Like you say, black folks are trillionaires. But the difference right now is we are trillionaires, not that we have it, we're giving it to other people. How do we give it back to ourselves? How do we educate ourselves and get ourselves ready for the future? Start building generation wealth. We
That's
can
right.
do it. If you don't know it, you can't do it.
That's
So
right.
to me, with you and I, what I want to do is when you got time, I got time. I want to continue to build system. I want to continue to
Absolutely.
educate. I want to continue to uplift, encourage, empower, inspire. Let these folks know right now is guess what? It's folks that's out there and platform that's out there that's going to help them. Help me to help you.
Absolutely.
Right now, I want help. I want to be able to lead my kids, my grandkids, my family. I want to be able to make sure they all right. I don't want them to have to, oh man, go fund me when Brian Glaze Gibbs died. I don't want that.
That's right. You're doing good, Brian. I'm telling you, this you have the right platform to be able to reach more people, to be able to educate more, and just kind of put it out there. I think it's really about reminders. I think that a lot of people know, some people know what to do, they're just not taking the proper actions. I gave quite a few different action steps to take, on this broadcast. I mean, really, number one, for people that may be in debt, go figure out what it is that you owe. I mean, I was speaking with a young man yesterday. He didn't even know what his balances were. He didn't even know his interest rate. He didn't know, anything. That's not the first person that's been like that. I've several. Another person thought they were paying 0% interest on their credit card and found out they were paying 27%. I mean, it's something that you have to take full ownership, full responsibility, and begin to do the work to dig out if there's a debt issue. If you don't have debt, kudos, hats off to you. You may not have, but now how are you going to grow your money? How are you going to keep more money? That's pretty much what I've been talking about over the last 20 minutes, 30
Mhm.
minutes. How are you going to keep more money? Look at your taxes. Are you using a tax professional? If you're using a tax professional, they should be making sure that you get more money back. The right tax professional. Some of these people that we're using, not we, because I don't use them, but they're not helping you. They're hurting you by allowing them to do your taxes. You want to figure out, how can I keep more money? And I definitely have a team of people that can help you if you're looking for somebody that can help you. One of my friends, he's been an IRS auditor for over 20 years, helping people with their taxes, so that they don't have to pay the IRS. The other thing is, how do you make more money? I just told you one way, Forex. If you don't have a job, get on here, do some demo accounts for a little while, learn the skill of trading like the rich and wealthy are requiring their children to do, or make sure your children learn. If you don't want to learn, have your children to learn. You never know what they're going to do and bring that bank, like the banks are doing. They're making money off of us, by putting our money in the bank. And literally we're losing money by having our money in the bank. If your money is not making money for you, like you're working and making money for these corporations, that's a problem. You should become the CEO of your money, creating employment opportunities. That's what CEO stands for. Creating employment opportunities for your money, so that while you're sleeping, your money can make money for you. Warren Buffett said, unless you figure out a way for money to make money for you while you're sleeping, you're going to work for money all the days of your life. And who am I? The person that's going to help you not have to work for money all the days of your life, because you should be retiring before you expire and living your calling and not just your career. That's what we should be doing, and walking in passion and purpose and influence and impact. Those are the things that we need to be concentrating on, because you're not here forever. I just lost a girlfriend. Shucks, it's been a while. We worked so hard. I didn't even know that she was gone, because I was busy. She was busy. Unfortunately, she left, suddenly. Another one. I told you all about the two friends I lost in 2018. Just lost another friend in New York. And it's because, that life happens. But I'm sure she had some dreams that were still in her, and we don't want, they said the place that Miles Monroe said this. Miles Monroe said that there's more dreams in a graveyard than any place, because so many people have dreams and they die and you never see them fulfilled because they're so busy working. They're so busy working on these jobs, nothing wrong with a job, but it should not be it's just a means to an end, but it should not become who you are. It should not become your identity. I was once lost in my identity in terms of my role. I thought I was somebody because I had this big, executive position. That was nothing. We have to move from success to significance. And how are you being significant? And so what impact are you making? And so when we don't have the money, we can't even make impact. There's no impact that you can make without money. You can't even give to a cause. What cause are you giving to? And so, not to degrade or to talk down, I'm just passionate in the fact that, we're not here, by happenstance. We're here on purpose. Every day is a gift. And so how are we using the gift of life? And so when we're here and we're living and we are passionate, we should be able to do what we want to do. And so I'm not talking about just financial freedom. I'm talking about time freedom. And that is what retirement gives you. It gives you time freedom. Some people have to work all the days of their life because they didn't plan properly in their younger years. And that is the passion that I have today. How can you reallocate your resources to be able to make more money for you while you're sleeping, to be able to keep more money because you're not paying as much taxes, so that you can then create the financial future, not only for yourself, but for your children, and then be able to educate your children so that they don't make the same mistakes you made, or they don't make any mistakes, right? Because they understand finances. So that's what we're talking about today.
You know what? Listen, I love that. And right now, is as you was talking, and I'm reading into it. Ricardo, you want to know if this is live? Yes, this is live. Scott Watson, you can read that from Scott because the sun is in
He
my.
said that, good morning, Ms. Husser and BGG. Most commodities are not necessary. It's just a system to keep us financially and economically broke and bankrupt. Absolutely. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. And so when we shift our minds and we can see, just as you've stated, we'll start, doing our finances a whole lot more differently.
And look, everybody, thank y'all. Thank y'all for joining in. And right now, where's like me and Shateka, this is unexpected. We tried it last Friday, and just so happens she got plans, and my plans don't coincide for this Friday. So we decided to go on earlier. So even right now, I want to thank each and every one of you that's out there. If y'all have any question, somebody keep coming up if we live. We live, all the way live, man. You know what I'm saying? Period. Hold on, wait, you want to see me pinch myself? Mr. Tika, pinch yourself. Let them know you. This is live. This is live. We ain't making it up or whatever. The difference is, this is my platform and what I want it to be. This is my ministry. And what I'm gonna talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. How do we uplift, encourage, enlighten, empower one another? Stop being like that crab in the barrel. So to me, I got to go the opportunity to utilize this platform and let it through the word of God, like be blessed. Blessed. Like right now, this young lady got abundant knowledge. And the difference is, I'm gonna take full advantage of that. Whatever I can help her with, whatever she can help me with, whatever we can help y'all with, that's the objective. It's not about us, it's about us, all of us, not just me and her, but all of us. How do we get to where we need to be at in life? And that's the difference. So any question, let's take a few questions before I got a boogie and this young lady got to hit the road.
Should you pay collections? Great question. The integrity side of me says yes. If you owe it, you should pay it. But if you feel like you don't owe it, then absolutely not pay for it. You can definitely go to someone that can help you with that, to have those removed. There's a tremendous amount of courses out here that can teach you how to get your credit life all the way together. But the average person that does credit will tell you don't pay your collections, because you can fight it in, and it's already there. It's already going to be there for 7 years, and half of the time it's already been sold to some type of third party, and they've already been paid off a portion, right? So not to pay for it. There are some different types of letters they call 609 letters. So if you want to Google 609 letters to see how to write your letter to state that, how you did not pay that, you can do that, and dispute it. And then also dispute it on all 3 credit bureaus so that they could have it removed. The thing about any type of credit is that if they can figure out something that's wrong on there, then they can actually not have to, you can not be liable for it, right? So if they have your address wrong, your name wrong, anything wrong on there, that's not your debt, right? It's this, they got to validate the debt. They got to validate who you are, things of that nature. The Consumer Financial Protection, it will help you with that. If for some reason they don't come back within a certain amount of time, within the 30 days, 45 days, that is what it has recently been extended to, then you could write the Consumer Financial Protection Agency and have those things removed that way. But the goal is to have it removed because it's going to be on there for 7 years, impacting your credit. And a lot of times, if you can just dispute it, because the credit bureaus are so far behind, a lot of times they don't even get to it within enough time. They'll just go ahead and wipe it off anyway. Sometimes you've probably heard of that, people wiping off debt because they just didn't do it right to begin with, and they lost track of the time or whatever the case may be. But there's a lot of little tricks to that I won't say necessarily on this live, but definitely want to make sure that you do that. It's a mindset our people need to get used to. Thanks. All right. Well, Adam, thank you. Rodney, see that. Yep, definitely. David. Okay, Scott.
That's my man Rodney Branch, man. Mr.
Yeah,
Branch,
Lonnie
how you
Jackson, we
doing?
used to talk more about this. Finances are important and it's not talked enough. And absolutely, I actually had a generational wealth show on in Baltimore. I just stopped because I want to get some things in order in my businesses so I can help people in a more impactful way. Because I've been starting to get more people, but definitely we got to do more communication around finances. I'm actually looking at possibly doing a podcast in the future. You know, not right this second because so much getting these clients and stuff like that. I want to make sure they're taken good care of. But once I get some processes in place in my operation, and you know I will because that's what I do, then I'm going to definitely get back out to speak more on these topics to different people, even as I still learn, right? So I don't know everything there is about finances, but I know a lot about finances and a whole lot more than what I've known. You know, growing up and even as someone as a graduate, you know, have a graduate degree, you know, I still finances wasn't where my focus was, but now it is because too many people were coming and just didn't have their money right. And, you know, we can just make some better decisions, some different decisions, you know, even in how we pay off the debt. That's the biggest thing. How do you pay off your debt? You pay it off by looking at the highest interest, not by the smallest, you know, amount. That's a false sense of security. You're still going to have the highest debt that's, you know, the highest interest that you got to pay off first. That's going to be the one that's causing you to stay in debt the longest. So that's the approach that you want to take to debt. But what other questions do you have?
I don't
I
want to.
I do have a YouTube channel, and I said I'm going to get on there more and be more consistent on there. I do have a YouTube channel, and I definitely will do just that. So yeah, you're right. They're not ready for the truth. Some people aren't ready for the truth. All right. Well, I do appreciate the comments here and your time. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak to you. I do have a hard stop time here in the next 10 minutes. So I just wanted to make sure that I gave enough time for answering any questions. But if there's no more questions, definitely you can reach out to me. Shateka.com is how you can book some time with me. I have different consults on there if you want to do financial planning. My main thing is that a lot of people don't understand the qualifying plan. I'll just take up a couple more minutes since we have a couple more minutes left. The qualifying plan versus as it relates to retirement, the qualifying plan versus the actual tax-free retirement account that I was talking about. Qualifying plans are like 401ks, 403bs, you know, 457s, TSPs, all these different types of plans that the government has put in place that they regulate and that they heavily tax and that there have a lot of fees in. You could actually reallocate your resources from those plans to some type of other plan that's going to be able to give you your taxes, going to give you the medical, going to give you a death benefit, going to give you access to your money when you need it for an emergency fund. So you're not having to wait to 59 and a half years old to be able to do that, but still have a lifetime income. And I can help you structure that if you're ready for that conversation. Because that's what the wealthy do. They have income in their retirement years instead of having to go work in their retirement years. There's a big difference. And so when you can understand how to reallocate your resources to be able to have an income, not the Social Security that's going to be able to disappear here in just a few years, but where you've structured yourself a plan to where you can receive income every year in retirement with medical benefits, because we all know that that's when people go bankrupt with medical challenges they didn't plan for: heart attack, cancer, stroke, dementia, the list goes on. This is what they can do. They can access this cash that they're going to set up now at a younger age so they can be able to have those funds available if they have any medical challenges in the future. This is what we're talking about today. So, yeah, we can actually structure a way to where you can become debt free no matter what your debt is for 9 years. We can have you become debt free within 9 years, okay, by using your money twice, by putting it into the same tax-free retirement account, okay, that I'm talking about, that's going to be able to build you the compound interest that's going to help you pay off your debt, okay? So the goal is to be able to still be compounding your money and have your money making money for you and using the compounded money that is making for you to be able to pay off the debt. If your money is not making money for you, you'll never get out of debt. It's impossible. You have to create a way to have another stream of income, even if it's just letting your money compound for you. And I told you about trading earlier. That's another way. Some people fail at it. Some people win at it. It's not for everybody. That's why I say start on your demo account. Do 100 active trades. If you do good in those trades, then branch off into your live account where you have real money that's using that. Otherwise, don't even do it. If you don't have the time to learn how to trade properly, which a lot of people don't, and they lose their money because they don't take the time to learn how to trade. If you can learn how to trade like the banks are already doing with your money from 12 midnight to 5 o'clock in the morning, before you wake up, they're taking your money and multiplying it. If you can learn that same skill, like a lot of these children out here are doing, teenagers, then you can make yourself another stream of income. So these are things that we are talking about today. So with that being said, I am done speaking unless there's any other questions.
Listening. Hey, once again, I want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining in. Thank you for your time. Shateka, thank you for your time. T.K. Kirkland, she's right. I blew my money not learning.
Yeah, I give her money. I've done some blowing of money too, TK. You're not the only one. I got, what is it? I was overconfident and thought I knew what I didn't know and learned the hard way. So yes, I get it.
Is that the real T? Is that the real T.K. Kirkland? That's what I want to know, man. Is this the real T.K. Kirkland? I just sent you a message, man. Is this the real T.K. Kirkland? Because he be on Vlad TV, he be on a lot of different platforms, and he come on everybody platform. So I'm trying to see if that's the real deal, Holyfield.
Oh, okay.
Hey, but once again, thank you.
Probably my nickname, Tiki.
Yeah, I forgot. Hey, but once again, like I say, thank you. And like I told you, this is something that we're gonna be doing. We're gonna keep doing different things, whether we go on YouTube Live, IG, whatever we need to do.
I just saw Ricardo. I didn't read that properly. Does ZEP clear after 7 years? It does not just clear. It doesn't clear. You always going to have the ZEP, but on your credit report, it'll fall off after 7 years. Yeah, it'll fall off after 7 years. So however you want to look at that, but yeah, you can ask them to remove it after 7 years if it's not been removed already. Okay.
Cool. So now we can end this.
Yes.
Hey, everybody, thank you for joining us. And I want to end this with a song. Now it's time to say goodbye to all our lovely friends. MIC, see you real soon now. KEY. Why? Because we love you. MOUSC.
My pleasure.
Hey, my brother, BBB, what's up, man? Great work. Okay. Great work, Shateka and Glaze. Hey, man, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Great work. Everybody listen, y'all have yourself a tremendous Thursday. Stay blessed up, stay pray up. You know what I'm saying? God be for you, who can be against you? Yes. Keep that in mind. And always remember with that vision. She told me she had fire in her belly. She had a vision. Right now is, guess what? That's a desire. That's a drive. Don't let nobody hold you back. Don't let nobody put their foot on your neck. You can do all things through Christ for what?
Strengthens us. That's my favorite scripture. Philippians 4:13.
All right. Hey, everybody have a good one. All right. Talk to you soon.
Take care. Bless you.
Be ready for episode 3, folks. Retire before you expire. Episode 3 coming soon.
Bless you.